Chicago, 2011. A cop is murdered. Police and prosecutors swear they have the trigger man. He swears he didn't do it. How far will each side go to prove they're right?
Like it's just one bombshell after another, where you're like, what?
The story of a PlayStation, a brain-eating amoeba, and the relentless pursuit of justice. Off Duty, out now. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
Howdy, howdy, ho, and welcome to Fantasy Fan Fellas. I'm Hayden, producer of the Fantasy Fangirls podcast and your resident lover of all things Sanderson.
And I'm Steven, your bookish internet goofball, but you can call me the Smash Daddy.
And we are currently deep diving Brandon Sanderson's fantasy epic, Mistborn. But here's the catch. Steven here has not read Mistborn before.
That's right, hey. So each week, you'll get my unfiltered, raw reactions to every single chapter.
And along the way, we'll do character deep dives, magic explainers, and Steven will even try to guess what's next. Spoiler alert, he'll be wrong.
Newsflash, I'm never wrong. Episodes come out every Wednesday, and you can find Fantasy Fan Fellas wherever you get your podcasts.
Over 90 of the top 100 U.S. accounting firms trust Bill to handle bill pay processes. Why? Because our tools are built on over $1 trillion of secure payments. We're not just moving money. We're powering financial workflows for 500,000 customers. That's a level of expertise you just can't fake. Ready to talk with an expert? Visit Bill.com/proven to get started and grab a $250 gift card as a thank you. Terms and conditions apply. See offer page for details.
Hello, and welcome back to the Psych Legal Pop Podcast. This is a podcast where we talk about popular culture through the lens of an attorney and a therapist. I'm Brooke Brigham, I'm the attorney.
And I'm Tess Brigham, I'm the therapist.
So we are here to talk about Sister Wives, Season 18, Episode 2. This episode is called Thanks for Nothing.
Thanks for nothing.
Yeah.
And, Sister Wives, it's become a comedy because we were just laughing and laughing and laughing.
We just watched it together just a few minutes ago.
God, we just laughed and laughed and laughed because it was hilarious.
Cody is off his rocker. He's completely lost it.
He's lost his mind. He's lost his goddamn mind.
Yeah. So we pick up where we left off at the end of last episode with Kody and Christine at Salsa Brava.
Well, they finally got some food.
Yeah.
They're eating.
Well, and I heard somebody say on another podcast or something that Christine was eating nachos.
Oh, she was.
But I couldn't get a good enough look at what I didn't see any food really going into.
I just saw Kody eating a lot of black beans.
Yeah, he had a plate of black beans and maybe some chips. I don't know, but whatever. The irony is not lost on anybody.
He is just, God, he is so angry.
He's so angry, and Christine even calls him out on it. And, because he brings up this, I think he brought it up at the end of last week. I'm not sure. Or maybe it was in a preview I saw. But anyway, he brings up this concept of post-divorce counseling.
Yes.
That he wants Christine to go with him to post-divorce counseling so that he can learn not to hate her.
Yes.
So he won't talk bad about her to their kids.
Yes.
And she's just like, huh? What?
Well, best, hands down, the best line was when she went, oh, so you're still angry? Oh, okay.
Yeah, you're still really angry.
I mean, the funniest thing was he is just sitting there stewing. And she's like, she's happy as a clam. She is just having a great time. Her life is great. She's just so happy. And he is just stewing. And she's like, I don't think about this person at all.
I don't think about
you. I don't care about you. And he thinks that all she does is think about him all day long and
goes badly about
and then goes to the kids and badmouths him and he in his mind he thinks that he has this poor relationship with his children and their children because of her and what she's saying, and she is not even speaking to them about him at all.
She's saying that my kids come to me when they need to talk to me, and I'm a sounding board, and I support them and I listen to them, but she's not bringing up the topic to them, and
she's not even thinking about that. But guess what, Kody? This is a little thing we call projection.
Mm-hmm.
You are projecting onto Christine because you are thinking about Christine all day long.
So you assume
and how
she's obsessed with you too.
and that she is thinking about you. That you assume that she's thinking about you because you are doing that, and you are thinking that the kids are that she is. That she is the cause of all of this. And it's like, no, because you are the cause of all of these things.
Yeah,
Kody.
and she's sort of humoring him. It's really funny because she's not reacting to him. She's just sitting there going, okay. And she's not reacting, and she's going along humoring him with this post-divorce counseling. And then in the talking head, she's like, I don't intend to do anything more for this person.
Yeah.
I am done. I am not doing any counseling. I'm not doing anything.
Well, and she also brings up, she says, he's been mad for a long time, like this anger that he feels, like he can't put that on me. That whatever this anger that he feels,
Right, those are his feelings.
These are his feelings. He's been mad a long time. This is his on this. The best is, what does he say? At one point he says, her face doesn't bother me.
But I hate her.
But her face doesn't bother me.
He says he has evil thoughts about her. And he tells her that she ruined his big picture.
Big picture. He has a lot of grief over the big picture, which has been, of course, this quote unquote dream that Kody's had, this unrealistic dream, which again, we've talked about this many times, that Kody has had an unrealistic dream of wanting all of his children to live under one roof or in this compound forever and ever. This he had this unrealistic dream that they were going to buy this land in Coyote Pass, and he was going to build a giant compound with all of his children, all of their wives, all of their family, all of their children were going to all live together, and they were all going to worship him for the rest of his days.
Yeah,
and that this is what their lives were going to be like. That they weren't going to ever want to go anywhere else besides Coyote Pass. That this was going to be it, and they were all just going to sit there and want to worship at his feet.
Yeah, and I love it. He says Christine is acting like her life is better than ever, and it's like yes, it is. Yes, it is. She's not acting.
No,
her life is better than ever.
Yeah, she is. It is, Kody. This is not an act.
She's only here because she has to film some content with you.
Yeah.
For the show.
Yes.
They didn't talk about Truly. They didn't really talk about the holiday. They didn't talk about any of that stuff.
This whole thing was like, this could have been taken care of in a text.
Right.
This is not even an email.
No.
This is a text.
Yeah. Hey, I'm going to be in town on the December 27th. I'll drop the girls off then. Bye. What time should I come?
Yeah, this was nothing. Yeah. This was all for the show.
And then Robyn pipes in saying she supports this counseling and that she'll do counseling with anybody in the family who wants to. And then this is when I noticed that Robyn, despite seeing herself on television, has not learned anything about her eyebrows.
Oh, I know. The eyebrows are
But I guess
bad.
because of the timing I feel like these scenes were filmed before the last season aired. Mm-hmm. And she hadn't really gotten to see her eyebrows yet on TV.
No, I feel like these eyebrows have been bad for a while now.
Okay. They're still horrible. And there's nobody on the staff or nobody in her life who can say to her, Robyn, these eyebrows are awful. You got to figure out something.
Either everybody hates her, secretly hates her and is unwilling to tell her, or they think that they're fat. They think it's great. They think it's fabulous. I don't know.
Yeah, and Robyn's saying, well, she just doesn't understand. I mean, she acts like she's on morphine or something.
Know. She's
so out of it.
Something. Well, but there's been talk that she has some sort of medical issue, right? That she has some sort of thyroid
or I mean,
I don't know.
She's so slow. She's so dumb. If she's really saying she doesn't understand, then it's like, pull your head out of your ass.
But then this is where she said because of Kody's optimism, his ability to see because he's so like, that he tends to miss these red flags. And that, maybe that while Christine was moving his stuff out, that maybe he missed some red flags.
That they'd work it out.
That they thought that they would work it out. it's a little bit of, well, then Kody, when Christine was moving your stuff into the garage or wherever she moved it to, you had time.
That's a
this
sign.
was not a whirlwind. You had plenty of time.
Yeah, so at some point, Kody just doesn't want to talk anymore because basically Christine is not taking any of his bait, and he just gets up and leaves.
Yeah. So, and this is where Robyn says this is like, she doesn't quite see where the deal breakers were between Kody and Christine, that it all had to end. And it's a little bit of like, well, yeah, Robyn, because you're not in that relationship.
Right.
Like you weren't there. You weren't in their bed, in their life, day in, day out. How would you know?
It's rarely 1 or 2 or even 3 specific things. It's like death by 1,000 cuts.
Yeah.
It's like 20 something years, 27 years of just being treated like he treated her.
Yeah, like being a basement wife.
And not being intimate with her. Everything. We all know.
So now it's Thanksgiving. And we get a close-up on Kody.
Cody's doing a FaceTime video or something.
So Cody's at Robyn's with Meri.
So a repeat of last year.
Yes.
But I don't know if Meri made the Rice Krispie turkey or not.
Yeah, we didn't get to see that.
We didn't get any.
So it's Christine and Truly.
And
Payton. They're in Salt Lake City, and they're going to Aspen and Mitch's house, or his family's house, but they can't film it.
Well, I think it's their house, but his whole family's going to be there too, and they don't want to be filmed, so they don't film.
Okay, because they're also a plural family, right? Because
part of Mitch's family is. Some of Mitch's family is.
Okay. And then there's also in North Carolina. Right? So North Carolina, Maddie and Caleb bought a house, and they're in their new house, and so that's where Janelle was with Hunter and Isabel and Savannah. And who else was there? Was that it?
I think that was it.
Yeah. Okay. So everyone's in 3 different spots. And then I guess we didn't hear where Gwen and Logan and where some of these other people are.
Well, I assume they're
probably
all wherever
the place.
They're with their respective partners
and such.
Wherever they live. Yeah.
Okay. So everybody's in a different place for Thanksgiving. And
Janelle makes Christine's rolls, and Christine's coaching her over the phone.
Yes.
But Janelle says it was a fun day. It was perfect. Again, she's so happy to be having Thanksgiving with, most of her children and her grandchildren.
Well, and
away from Kody.
She feels, I don't know if it's guilty is the right word, but she feels, what does she feel? She feels bad that she doesn't feel bad, essentially.
Right.
I think the problem is that she is enjoying herself and she doesn't feel like she wants to be with Kody.
Yeah.
And that's a bit of the problem.
Yeah. And she brings up that, part of the reason why is that there's these hurt feelings from 12 years ago when Robyn entered the family. And then, then Kody comes on and he says, Robyn was not the problem. The fallout was from going public.
Yes.
And it's like, not really. I mean, you can't say exactly what would have happened if Robyn never came into the family, but
I know. That's always been, and that's the issue, right? This is always the issue is, and you can go back and forth forever about it, because is it about going public or is it about Robyn? And the problem is that all of that happened at the same time, and there's no way to know what it is. And because all we have is what we've seen on TV, we don't know.
But what the family is now complaining about is Robyn coming into the family. They're not complaining about going public. All these grown children now are complaining that, ever since Robyn came into the family, things were different, and she was favorited, and their mothers were treated worse and less than. And so this is coming from these pretty objective sources who witnessed this whole thing.
Well, and what I think is really interesting, and we can talk about this now, what's mentioned later on is about this issue with the FaceTime and gift exchange, and we can talk about that in a minute. But what is interesting is as children get older, and we all go through this, is that, you know, when you get to be a certain age, what happens is your parents start really telling you things, and stuff starts to get revealed to you that, you know, you kind of maybe knew some kind of sort of in the back of your mind about, like, oh, my parents broke up because of an affair. I kind of sort of knew, but maybe I didn't really know. Or, you know, oh, that's right. I always thought that, you know, maybe my grandfather, you know, maybe wasn't really my grandfather, or whatever it is. Like, things that maybe you kind of sort of, or you didn't have any idea. Like, parents start telling you things, and then you start finding out truths about people, and then people start talking about stuff. Like, and what happens is, once people start becoming adults and kids start becoming adults, they stop pretending like things aren't real, and people start saying things like, dad's an alcoholic, or, you know, just like, you know, people just start talking. And what's happening now with these kids is they are starting to say, I don't like Robyn. I don't like this person. Like, they're not going to pretend anymore that they are happy about, I'm not going to sit across from so-and-so anymore and eat mock tapioca pudding with so-and-so anymore. I'm not going to do this. I'm 25 years old. And this is what happens. People become adults and they go, not going to do this. I'm not going to be, Dad, I'm not going to be nice to your wife anymore.
Yeah,
or I'm not going to be nice to this person.
And as a parent, you have to deal with that, because you suddenly have a mirror held up to you.
Yep.
And you have two choices. You know, you can either choose to be honest with yourself and say, yeah, you know, that wasn't cool what I did, or I wish I hadn't done that. Or you can become defensive like Kody.
Yes.
And be like, well, no, you don't know what you're talking about. I'm right. I'm the parent. You're wrong. Invalidate your feelings, like all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And that's all he knows how to do. That's his level of maturity.
Yeah.
But yeah, he says he just wants peace and love.
Oh.
He wants to be surrounded by people who are not offended by him.
Yes.
Well, that's a small group.
He wants love and devotion. We're back to the same thing.
Yeah.
But this was the best, because Kody, when we have him like right in his face, he's saying all this stuff like he just wishes this was all straightened out. He tells us,
then pick up the fucking telephone and call your
frustrating.
kids.
It was like he tells us all his wishes. I wish this. I wish this. I wish this. I'm like, Kody, you've got a freaking phone shoved in all our faces. All you have to do is
turn it around. Dial Gabe,
find a new number,
Garrison,
and then call your children.
Yes.
And we could get this all straightened out right now. You are the key to straightening all of this out.
But you know what? Even if he called them and talked to them, I don't think it would go anywhere, because again, he would be defensive if they didn't get on the phone and start apologizing to him and making concessions to him and doing what he wants and saying, oh, okay, yeah, well, I'll apologize to Robyn. I'll come over to your house for Thanksgiving. He would just be mad.
Yeah.
It's futile. It's like, it's never going to happen. He's incapable.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he's such a victim. Like, nothing is his fault. Like, he has nothing to do with this discord in the family. Nothing to do with it.
No, the only thing he will take any ownership is that he did not intervene enough, and he let his family kind of run wild or something. Like, he sort of lost control of his family, and what he needs to do now is take control again of his family. Like, that's the one thing that he will concede.
Too late.
Yes. So next is Thanksgiving's over, and we see Christine's back in Utah with Peyton, and they're making the mock tapioca pudding. I've got to find this recipe and make this. I love tapioca pudding. And we see her and Peyton. I didn't write many notes here. Did you write anything down?
Yeah, but basically he lives in St. George.
Oh, that's right.
And then he went into the military. I'm not quite sure where he's, I don't know if he still lives in St. George. He says, everybody's got their issues with Dad. I mean, Peyton knows what's up. Like, Peyton's very realistic. The one thing, Peyton is kind of a mystery to me, because he doesn't seem to be around as much, because there's this rift between Peyton and Gwen.
Yes.
She hates him. She said it in her, Patreon and whatever. So they can't be in the same room together. But he seems like I don't know. I don't know what to think of him. Mm-hmm. But
that interview that he did, the infamous interview that he did, was very odd. I didn't know what to make of him then either. And I'm surprised about all this. I thought he and Dayton were very close. So
I don't know. Probably not now.
I guess so. The next part is about this whole gift exchange thing. So I was kind of surprised to hear that.
He just doesn't seem like he's part of the family. We don't see him that much, but that doesn't mean anything. We don't see Logan very much. I mean, maybe he just chooses to stay out of it.
I was surprised to see him on camera at all.
Yeah.
I was surprised that he even agreed to film.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think he I don't know.
I wish I knew more about him. He's kind of a mystery to me.
But he and Christine are very close, and they seem to have a very close bond.
He said something when they were talking about Kody. He was bringing up stuff about Kody, and he said that Kody asked Christine not to go to Grandma's funeral.
Yeah, what was that all about?
Which grandma was that? Because I know Grandma Bonnie died, and then Grandma Janelle's mom died.
Okay.
Like both during the COVID time.
And Christine's mom's still alive, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Because she was always really young. She looked very young.
Yeah, she's still alive, but I mean...
Janelle's mom passed away too?
Yeah, she passed away like during, I don't know, season 17.
I know Meri's mom passed away.
I think both their moms passed away in that season 17.
God, and they are not that old, either of those women, I think.
Yeah, I don't know, but So
I wonder what that's all. And was that because of COVID? Like Kody was so paranoid about COVID, even though he wasn't seeing them.
I have no idea.
Yeah,
but
interesting.
That sounds like something Kody would do.
And then next is this infamous gift exchange where we had to pause and discuss it because it was so
it was so much information all at once.
You have it all written down. You talk about it.
Okay, well, I guess Logan initiated a gift exchange among all the siblings, and the sibling, probably first among the older siblings, and they decided to include the parents or at least the moms or whatever in on it. And so right away, Robyn insisted that they have this Zoom call with everyone so that her kids could feel more involved in it. Because she's saying that her kids don't really know their siblings very well. And I guess, because it didn't happen right away, like the same day, and everyone didn't just drop everything to have this Zoom call, she got upset. And then I think there was some sort of text chain with everybody, and she was getting upset. And Hunter said something like, well, one Zoom isn't going to change the fact that your kids don't know their siblings. And then feelings started coming up about Robyn, and Robyn was really pushing for this Zoom call for the sake of her kids and saying, no one wants to hang out with my kids. Anyway, it blew up into this big thing that culminated in Robyn basically saying that her kids didn't feel comfortable being in the gift exchange at all.
Yeah.
And she's crying and she's saying it was a horrible day and they don't like us. We're outsiders. And everyone, Meri and Christine, everyone's saying Robyn really jumped to conclusions. And it just sounded like Robyn just blew up this very innocent thing that could have been negotiated over the course of, more than a day.
Yeah.
It's like she wanted it right.
What I was confused about was he was initiating the gift exchange. So was all this thing was just to talk about the gift exchange, or was the thing to actually exchange the gifts on camera?
No,
this was just to simply talk about the gift exchange.
Talk about it.
And I think the whole thing was that, I think what I thought was just so funny about this was just to arrange the gift exchange. So
which could have been done in a text.
Yes.
They didn't need to have a Zoom meeting about it.
They didn't need to have the Zoom meeting about it. And even if they did want to have a Zoom meeting about it, I think apparently a lot of people were just like, yeah, I just can't drop everything like you, Robyn, because we all have jobs. And I would have been one of those people that was like, I have a job, Robyn. Even
we can do this later.
And even if I wasn't really doing anything, I don't really want to, it's just a little bit like, I'll schedule it out later. Like, I kind of don't want to drop everything and get on a Zoom, no matter what it is.
Right.
Like, I kind of don't.
Well, look, Logan could have just done it himself. He could have just like put everybody's name in a hat and drawn names and sent out a text.
Like, you could have done the gift exchange via Zoom.
Right.
Like, you could have done it that way later. That's another way of getting to know each other. Like, or reconnecting or whatever it is. But you can see already, like, Robyn, you're isolating your children even more by just yanking yourselves
them from the gift exchange.
Like,
I know.
what are you doing? Why are you doing? It's like, Jesus Christ, you're making this worse.
Like, if she just doesn't get her way, like, immediately, then she makes herself and her kids are a victim, and it's like, well, never mind.
Yeah, I mean, God, talk about passive aggressive.
Yeah.
Ugh.
And then Christine starts in a talking head, starts ticking off a lot of really good points. She said, she talks about how it's Kody's responsibility to have a good relationship with his kids and nobody else's. This is the core, problem here. And then she says, I don't think Robyn's ever lived plural marriage. Meaning that, well, she basically came into the family and kind of took what she wanted from it and left the rest.
Yes.
She wouldn't let Christine take care of her kids. She always had nannies.
Or family helper, yeah.
Yeah, she always kind of got more than everybody else.
She's never really worked.
No.
She's never worked, never had to work a part-time job. The only job, I think maybe she did that marketing thing. Maybe. We don't know.
I don't think so.
Sister Wives Closet's the only thing she's ever done.
And that never made any money.
That was never a quote-unquote full-time job or ever made them any money. Probably lost the money.
Yeah.
And no, but Christine's absolutely right in the sense that Robyn thinks that she knows what plural marriage is because her parents did it and because she was in this church and she was in this community.
Well, and do you know that Robyn's parents never really did it? So her life is parallel to her mother's life. So her mother first was, it was just like Robyn. She was married to a man, but they never lived together. And then the guy who was her stepfather, her mom was his second wife. Anyway, I can't remember the whole story, but it was not a real plural marriage like the husbands and the wives all living together. So she didn't live that in her childhood. She didn't live it with her first husband. And she really didn't live it with the Browns because, like I said, she decided what parts of it she was going to do, what parts of it she wasn't going to do. And she wasn't in that time where everyone was sacrificing. It's like she just came in and she was just taken care of.
Yes.
Like a princess.
Yep.
And then Christine also says, when you have a favorite wife, your kids are going to see it.
Yep.
So just like you said, like once kids get to be a certain age, they see things and they can like make up their own mind.
And once kids, once you aren't feeding your children, once you aren't financially responsible for them, and once they have money and have voices and, all of those kinds of things, kids wise up, kids get it together, and kids will say what they really think. And that's sort of how it is. And so anyway, we get to this very interesting segment about ear piercing. So suddenly, Kody isn't angry anymore.
No, he's delighted.
Kody lights up because he's going to take Aurora to get her ears pierced. Ay. How long did this segment go on for?
Very long time, it seemed like. I mean, he's just as happy as a clam.
Yes, to go with his favorite child.
Yeah, and he talks about how, in their religion, they don't want the ear piercing, and Meri never had her ears pierced, and Janelle took her earrings out when she got married, and Christine had 2 piercings.
Ooh, Christine's so crazy.
She was crazy, Christine. And I don't know if she ever took hers out or not. That was unclear.
I don't know. The Robyn's story was so weird. Like she had the ear pierced when growing up, and then she took the things out, and then
she said that when she met Kody, she already had pierced ears, and she made a deal with him because he was so.
Was it him? I thought it was with her dad. I thought the person that she was talking about was her dad.
No, she's talking about Kody because when she met Kody, he was so grouchy about. He didn't like to celebrate the holidays because I think he didn't like to spend money.
Oh, I thought she
On
was
the
talking
kids.
about her stepfather.
No, she's talking about Kody.
Oh.
And she said, I'll take my earrings out if you promise that you'll be, happy about Christmas and the holidays.
I thought she was talking about somebody else.
Oh, well, that's what I heard. But
all right. And then she took of course she was going to take those earrings out for Kody. She's like, oh, Kody, I'll take them out for you.
yeah, for 5 minutes.
And then, of course they started at Sister Wives Closet and then they shoved those things back in. And then, of course, Janelle and everybody put them back in.
Right.
Except for Meri, who's allergic to metal or something like that.
Yeah.
So, but Aurora, she decided, no, it wasn't even Aurora. Robyn
this was the father-daughter thing.
Yeah.
That Robyn went with her father to get her ears pierced.
So Robyn wanted Kody to take Aurora.
Right.
So, and so Kody, this is Kody's first time to take a daughter because they made a rule in the house where everyone had to be 18 to get your ears pierced. So Aurora is 42? So she finally, after many conversations, decided to take this huge leap and get her ears pierced. And so Kody's very proud to take Aurora, there because she's respected my authority as her father.
Yeah.
So this is why Aurora is the favorite, because Aurora has never had an original thought in her mind ever. This girl, this I'm sorry, she always has bugged me, and it's not really her fault. But this girl is someone who, my God, she would fall into a cult so easily.
Yeah.
And she has, because this girl has never had an original feeling in her life. She is someone that you just point in a direction and say, Aurora, follow in line. And she does. This girl is, Jesus Christ, she's like loved people she's known for 5 minutes.
She's so desperate and needy.
Oh my God.
She's
it's so sad.
Something really wrong with her.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
And dad. It's like, God, this is not your father. You have another father.
I know. So Kody goes in with her because it's COVID and only one parent can go
and
in.
of course, they've got to film it for Robyn. Robyn has to watch her do it. It's like, God, can't you people just do something alone?
Well, and film it for the show.
I know, and film it for the show, but Robyn's eventually going to watch it on the show. Like, why, Robyn, you have to FaceTime it there for her?
Well, because nobody's ever had their ears pierced before.
Yeah,
like
or
this.
just do it. Like, move on with your lives,
I don't know, but this was the happiest I've seen Kody in years.
Yes.
He was so happy.
Beaming.
He loves her so much.
Yes, because she respects his authority.
So now we go back to Janelle.
Back to two women that don't respect his authority at all.
Janelle says he was a good father until COVID, but then she also admits that her boys had seen the inequities of the time and the resources that Kody gave to their mother over the years.
Yes. So we're back in Flagstaff. Christine is back in Flagstaff because Christine explains, I have to go back and forth for business, which means I have to come back here to film.
Yeah.
So she's back in Flagstaff and they're assembling a tree together in Janelle's teeny tiny little apartment. And Janelle's explaining she doesn't know what she wants anymore. And Janelle says she needs respect.
Yeah,
Yes.
and she talks about how this hurt she feels actually goes all the way back to when they blended the family.
Yes.
And that her children were really hurt by that.
Yeah.
And again, these kids are now being blamed because they didn't just, wholeheartedly accept this traumatic experience.
Yes. Well, yeah. And I mean, obviously, right? Exactly what we were saying, which is they had all these hurts when they were a kid. They could not express it then. They had cameras in their faces, so they had to smile and pretend like, oh, isn't this great?
Isn't this fun?
Isn't this fun? They had to smile and pretend, and they didn't really have much of a choice. And then, let's move forward, 10 plus years, and now you're an adult and you're supporting yourself or you're doing your own thing, and your father is now asking you yet again, and Brooke and I have been in this position ourselves, to be nice to someone. And, you just kind of hit a wall sometimes where you're like, no, I'm not going to keep being nice to this person. I don't want to be.
Why?
Why do I have to keep being nice to this person? I don't want to be nice to them anymore. I'm kind of done. And you know what? And once you have the right, especially once you're an adult, to say, no, not going to do it anymore. And that's what they're doing.
Yeah, I mean, these adult children are really not doing anything out of the ordinary.
No.
This happens in families all the time. This is normal.
Yes.
It's the exception to the rule that a step-parent comes into your life and everything is just hunky-dory.
Yeah. I mean, and I've seen this, even in the healthiest where everyone loves each other, everyone gets along, everybody's great, even the most emotionally healthy people, there are problems, there are issues and there are hurts and there's slights and there's all of these things. That's in the most healthiest situations. I mean, this situation was so complicated and complex and all of that. And the entire time they had to hold the party line of, look at us, we're happy, this is great, polygamy's great and wonderful, and we love it. And they finally are like, we're not gonna keep pretending like this is great.
You get to a certain point when you can't. And so Janelle tells Christine, after they build the artificial tree, that she and Kody are not fine.
Yeah.
That he's so, obsessed with the kids respecting him. And she says that she doesn't even really know who this guy is anymore. He's so angry, and it's just really not worth the work.
Yeah.
To put in the work.
Yeah. And that's pretty much the episode, right?
Yeah,
Am I right?
and Janelle, she just seems extremely ambivalent.
Yeah.
And so they have a scene from next week where this
so
is
good.
One of the previewed scenes, but expanded a little bit more, where Kody's over at Janelle's apartment. And he says, you cheated me out of contact with my family. And then they just really kind of get into a back and forth of pointing fingers at each other and saying, I'm not listening to you. And no, you're going to listen to me. And I'm not listening to you. And it's more than it was initially teased as. I mean, they're really like getting into it.
Oh, yeah. No, next week is going to be so good because this is the infamous scene that they've been playing out. But, and yeah, you're right. It's going to be so
it's gonna be good.
It's going to be so good. But yeah, I think that it is, I think obviously Janelle seeing Christine and what Christine has done and how happy she is and what we were saying last time, combined with how she went off to Thanksgiving and
it's coming.
And COVID, we saw this a lot with COVID and a lot of people who got divorced during COVID and things that people broke up. I think that for Janelle, I think she saw that, especially having these Thanksgivings and realizing like, oh, I can enjoy these holidays without him.
Right.
I'm enjoying
We don't
all these
need to have a big 30-person get together.
And I don't need this big giant family. I don't need this. I don't need that. I don't miss him. I don't miss this family, this big thing that I used to have. I don't miss any of it. I'm happy. So,
yeah. So I have a little bit of Sister Wives news.
Okay.
Well, first of all, I don't know if it was, I think it was maybe on our Sister Wives Rewind when we were watching Logan graduate from high school.
Yes.
We were talking about, what does he do now?
Yes.
So he started college in 2014, and then he graduated in 2020 with an MBA. Mm-hmm. And he worked full-time when he was in school. And he worked as a business analyst for a UNLV student-run venture capital firm.
Ooh.
And then in 2021, he started working for a community development. He was a community development manager at a Nevada startup. I have no idea what that means, but he did not go into healthcare.
Oh,
as he said, but he went into business.
So he went into venture capital.
Yeah. And then we got some news a few days ago that Leon and Audrey actually got married
a year ago,
October 22. I guess someone found the marriage certificate, and this was shortly after Logan's wedding.
Oh, okay.
And
well, that's exciting. Congratulations, Leon.
Congratulations. And allegedly, this is also being reported that Kody and Robyn didn't support Leon's transition and had said some very disparaging things about them. And I want to say, I think, I'm trying to think of when Leon came out in public about their transition. And I think it might have even been, I think it was before this wedding. But anyway, there's speculation that that's why Meri ultimately just left, because that was like the nail in the coffin of how they were treating Leon. And so I got a little bit of a timeline of when everybody left from this People magazine article.
Yes, you went out and found that. God, finding People magazine. We talked about this last time. How hard it is to find friggin' People magazine. So poor Brooke has spent $14 on People magazine.
No, I went back and I got an exchange.
Oh, you did?
I picked up the magazine, didn't look at it, got home, and this is how popular Sister Wives is. Somebody had ripped out the pages of the Sister Wives article. So it wasn't in there. So then I went back to the store and I said, hey, I got a new copy. And then I came home and I thought it was going to be this real juicy article, and it really wasn't. There was a few little things in there, but actually the stuff that they had posted online was better than what was in the magazine. So that was kind of a disappointment. But basically, Christine left in November of 2020. No, it must have been before November, because this is the Thanksgiving talk.
Yeah.
And she took Isabel to North Carolina to go to school. So that would have been like September. It was probably more like October. Anyway, this article said that Janelle left in December of 2021 because the Christmas plans were the final straw.
Oh, okay. So she put her tree up pretty shortly after Thanksgiving, I guess. So, I mean, this must be... So the scene that we're seeing and what's going to happen next
Christmas
week...
time.
So what's going to happen next week? That must have been like, boom.
Like right before Christmas. Yeah. And then it said that Meri left in January of 23. So that would have been a few months after Leon and Audrey got married.
Okay. So maybe that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, in the article, it was Kody made a tepid sort of statement that he admits he could have done a lot better and managed things differently. And Robyn says it's been hell. Kody has tried to sabotage their relationship, picking fights and pushing her away.
Well, I'm sure it has been hell for her. I'm sure it has. I mean, but it's been hell because who is going to support them?
Right.
Honestly, because what I saw, this has all been from Without a Crystal Ball. Because I follow Without a Crystal. This is all, again, Without a Crystal Ball, allegedly. Yeah. So this is all from this account. So I do not know if any of this has been fact checked. It's all been fact checked by that account. But what I've read on that is that they are going back to UAB, that they are hot to get back into the good graces of that church, and that church is very anti-LGBTQIA. And that's one of the reasons why they are distancing themselves from Gwendolyn and from Leon. And that they're hot to get back in there, and that they want... that they're also very hot to get more wives. And honestly, I think it's because Kody wants to keep the show rolling. And I think it's because Kody wants wives. And I think that he wants wives that are working. Because I don't think Kody wants to work. And I don't think Robyn wants to work. No. And the two women that work the most, Janelle and Christine, are gone.
Right. And Meri
and Meri
brought in a lot of money from...
Oh, yeah, from LuLaRoe. But I'm sorry, but it's always been... Janelle's always been the workhorse. And Christine, I know, brings in a lot of money from her stuff. And Meri, you're right. Yeah. I mean, they all... But, if they take all their money, where is Kody?
Where are they going to get it? Where are Kody and Robyn going to get a job at? Where are they going to work? Who's going to hire them?
So even if they wanted
to
work...
What skills do they have?
If either of them wanted to work, where can they work? There's no way.
Nowhere. So they're going to get a minimum... Robyn can get a minimum wage job.
Yeah. So they have to either hustle for cameos... Keep the show going, or do some multi-level marketing, or hope that Sister Wives Closet takes off.
Well,
Please.
So they don't have a choice. I mean, I think this is what they're trying to do. This again, alleged. This is all my own theories.
Just
none of this is rooted in any kind of facts. I mean, listen, I had a whole theory about Coyote Pass.
Well, one of I think it was Sandy commented on Instagram on our Instagram page that Coyote Pass was paid off this year, which makes sense because this was the year. Remember, Janelle was saying they have a year left, so that year is up. If they hadn't have paid it and it would have gone back to the seller, we would have heard about that.
Well, so
Don't you
here's my
think?
question. Yeah. So I'm wondering, with Janelle leaving and Meri leaving, what happened to that land? Because Christine said, I don't want any money from the land. Let me sell the house and let me go.
They might still be on the title.
Oh, okay. So I'm wondering, because Janelle wanted the land. So I hope poor Janelle, who's really gotten screwed over here, I really hope Janelle got something from all of this.
Well, she hasn't gotten anything yet. All they did was pay off the land. So I bet you that Kody probably had to scrape up, whatever money they got from the show or he got from the show, whatever more. I think they've mortgaged their house several times. I think he scraped up the money just to save the land. They at this point, they either have to sell it to somebody else and try to at least break even, or they have to do something with it. But they don't have the kind of money to invest hundreds of thousands of dollars to build on it. And, that whole thing with Janelle thinking, I don't know what Janelle was thinking. She bought that RV for, it was like $84,000. That's a down payment on a house.
Yeah.
She should have just taken that money, put a down payment on the house. And then if and when they ever started building on Coyote Pass, she could have sold her house and put the money into that. But it's almost like she set this thing up for failure to see like how Kody would react and to maybe even just give her an out.
Maybe. I mean, maybe subconsciously, because she said that she got it because she thought it was going to be a grand adventure. Remember she said that? I remember that because I was surprised when she said that. She said, I thought that this was going to be a grand adventure because she said the one thing that really always connected her and Kody was the fact that they both loved the outdoors. They loved camping. They loved to go hiking. They loved to do all of those things together. And I think that she maybe thought, okay, he and I are both really committed to this land. We both love doing these things together. I think she envisioned the two of them buying this land. I mean, let's buy this RV. We're going to have this romantic time and doing this together, and thought that this would bring the two of them together and do that. And I think that it was just disaster from beginning to the end. And maybe unconsciously, she probably, maybe unconsciously she kind of, that's what needed to happen, was that it pushed them farther apart.
Yeah.
But she thought it was going to be a grand adventure.
Well, I'm not quite sure why she thought that, because he was unsupportive of it and hated it from the beginning. And then she was just going to build this little casita that was really small. And it's not like he was going to he's not going to want to live there either,
What's interesting is, though, I am with you that $85,000 is a lot of money for a grand adventure. Like,
with no guarantee of
I mean, I think that $5,000 gamble for a grand adventure.
Living in an RV on some just raw land, that's not a grand adventure.
I mean,
a grand adventure is you're traveling across the country.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, taking
and
some
going
money
to all
on
the
a trip.
State parks.
Yeah, like taking a little trip.
Seeing America. That's a grand adventure. Just parking this RV that you have to like fill up with water and deal with the sewage system and, what the generator, and then that is not an adventure. That's like Little House on the Prairie.
I know.
Okay?
No, it sounds like a nightmare to me. I would never want to do that. Never.
No, it's just barely one step up from camping.
Yeah. I really don't even want to camp.
Oh,
so,
no.
I hate camping.
No.
I don't like to camp at all.
We don't camp in our family.
No, we don't camp.
Okay, well, this is another week of chock full of Sister Wives news, and Another episode.
God, I cannot wait till next week. It's going to be so good. So good.
It's going to be fun.
When those two get into it at Janelle's house. Ugh.
Please, if you are enjoying our Sister Wives coverage, please subscribe to the podcast. And we also do a Sister Wives Rewind that comes out every Tuesday.
Yes.
And we're currently on season 5, episode...
It's episode 3. Yeah.
So we're clipping through that. It's a lot of fun. So if you subscribe, you can get both of these Monday and Tuesday episodes. And come check us out on social media if you want to.
And just like that, we're still.
Oh yeah. Well, we just finished recording the season finale of And Just Like That. So if you want to check out those episodes, they're in our feed. And you can check us out on social media at PsychLegalPop on Instagram and TikTok. Leave comments, suggestions, questions, whatever. And I think that's it.
All right.
See you soon, hopefully.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye.
Howdy, howdy, ho, and welcome to Fantasy Fan Fellas. I'm Hayden, producer of the Fantasy Fangirls podcast and your resident lover of all things Sanderson.
And I'm Steven, your bookish internet goofball, but you can call me the Smash Daddy.
And we are currently deep diving Brandon Sanderson's fantasy epic, Mistborn. But here's the catch. Steven here has not read Mistborn before.
That's right, hey. So each week, you'll get my unfiltered, raw reactions to every single chapter.
And along the way, we'll do character deep dives, magic explainers, and Steven will even try to guess what's next. Spoiler alert, he'll be wrong.
Newsflash, I'm never wrong. Episodes come out every Wednesday, and you can find Fantasy Fan Fellas wherever you get your podcasts.
Over 90 of the top 100 U.S. accounting firms trust Bill to simplify and secure bill pay. That's proven financial infrastructure built on over $1 trillion of secure payments. Visit Bill.com/proven for a special offer.
Give me a mountain with lots to do. Give me the sunshine, give me a dew. Give me something simple and true. All I need is sunshine and a cool, refreshing mountain dew. Give me my good friends, give me a dew.
Grab some friends and an ice-cold Mountain Dew today.
Mountain Dew.